If 1,000 ants had to fight a Black Widow, what would actually happen? Would the spider's venom come out on top, or would the sheer number of ants overwhelm her? Well, in this video, I'm gonna test ants against that and tons of other interesting scenarios to see how strong ants really are. The only problem,
ants, they can eat, and they work like beasts. They work smarter together than humans. Humans cannot even work the way ants work together.
problem is, I don't have 1,000 ants. Thankfully, I found this website that sells just
$300? That's cheap, no?
that. And the coolest thing is, it's a mystery species, meaning we might actually get something really good. $300. Let's just add this
That is cheap, yo.
to the cart. And I bought the most expensive shipping option to make sure the ants would arrive without any dying during the shipping.
Oh, I am so excited.
As long as I get a good species, it's gonna be so fun to watch these go against the Black Widow and everything else I have planned for them. Anyways, I brought them to the recording area and opened up the package, and I was kind of surprised by what I found.
Nah, are they in here? Oh my gosh, okay, there actually is like 1,000. Okay, at least I didn't get
And this is 1,000? I think he got scammed. I think he got scammed. This is not 1,000. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this is 5, this is not 1,000.
They were in a pill bottle. I couldn't really get a good
scammed.
look at them, so I got a clear container and dumped them all inside. Instantly.
What? How is this? Oh, is it like that one theory where if you have a small container and you push everything together, it goes smaller in volume, right? It gets smaller in volume and then it expands when it gets into liquid? Is that like the foam?
You could now see the true scale of what 1,000 ants actually looks like. And at least, I mean, I think
If you had to kiss one guy in the world, who would it be? Andrew Tate.
it's 1,000. I'm not counting all these guys. And after analyzing the species, I realized that these were harvester ants, which are equipped with venomous stingers and massive mandibles, meaning yes, this was actually going to be a very interesting video with everything I was going to test.
Is this animal torture, guys? Is this animal torture?
Now, for these 1,000 ants to be able to fight a Black Widow, we first need to get them in a nest. And well, everyone say hello to the Terra jar. It's like Terra Green, except I replaced the green with a jar. Anyways, let me go and dump all these guys in here. Be free, everyone. This is way bigger than that tiny pill bottle you were in.
Right away, you could see the ants starting to move around on top of the soil. Now, you might be thinking that this isn't enough space for the ants. Well, it actually is, because this is specifically designed for the ants to dig out tunnels all along the sides of the
it's not dirt though. It's not dirt though. How do they do this? How do they do this? Yo, what's good? Thumbs up, guy. What's good? How do they do this? This is not dirt. What is this? It's like sand?
glass. And as the video progresses, we're gonna see their nest get crazy.
Is this sand?
And crazier. And yeah, most of the ants were kind of going crazy trying to climb up the glass, but after leaving them alone for only a few hours, you could see they were already starting to construct their tunnel system. Each of the worker ants would pick up singular grains of sand from the tunnel.
Oh, it is sand! It is sand! I'm a biologist! I'm a biologist! I'm a biologist! I knew it! I knew it! Yo, what's good, Diana? How are you doing?
Walk up to the surface, drop the sand, and go back down to repeat the process. And when you have 1,000 ants, you can see they dig out a pretty good amount in only just an hour of this time-lapse footage.
Oh yeah, it's sick to see the ants already starting to build their nest.
How do they do this? Is it like they follow coordinates? Is it like they know where the magnet is of the planet and then they follow north and west and south together? Because they coordinate this really well. They end up, look, they go, one is on this side, the other one goes on this side, and boom, they connect here. They connect together. How do they do that? Is it physics or is it pure luck? You fix your issues? I hope you did, Diana.
And it should be fully dug out by the end of the video. Anyways, as you know, I'll be putting these guys to the test against a Black.
They just built like many rooms for storage and like, so it's like Minecraft. It's like Minecraft, but they play Minecraft in real life. Then when do they know they finished the game? When do they finish the game? Like the end game, right? I'm not talking about video game. I'm just talking about the end game. When do they finish like the game of ants, of being an ant? Updating the BIOS? You updated the BIOS? You know how scary the BIOS is?
Widow. But before then, I have all of these different training activities to prepare the ants for the final spider mob. Second up, we're gonna see how fast they can take down some prey. Yep.
So when they die, it's game over. No, it's when the queen dies, right? If the queen dies, the people have the workers, the slaves, they have no will to live anymore.
Crickets. Oh my gosh, crickets hate me, and sorry.
Look, ants are beasts. They eat crickets.
Buddy, you are gonna be, well, I guess you guys will just see what's about to happen.
And well, right after dropping the cricket in, literally within like a nanosecond, the ants were swarming it. I thought it would only take like a couple minutes, but no, this cricket was already pinned down, getting venom injected into him. As I said earlier, each of these ants is equipped with a venomous stinger that is obviously not super deadly to humans, but to crickets, when there's like 20...
Do they do this with humans? Can they do this with us?
equipped with a venomous stinger that is obviously not super deadly to humans, but to crickets...
It's not deadly, but they do like this with their hooks.
When there's like 20 ants repeatedly stinging you, you're kinda done for. Yep, ants...
What? You can die?
But the crickets, when there's like 20 ants repeatedly stinging you, you're kinda done
crickets.
for. Yep, ants don't play around when there's a threat near their nest, and you can see over the next 30 minutes, the cricket stayed completely surrounded by the ants. And I'm guessing they already started to rip its antennas off and stuff to get a tasty meal to...
Yo! Bro, this is like... Okay, I cannot say that. I cannot say that. They are red ants, they bite, but they don't bite with their teeth. They bite with their butt. They bite with their butt.
Spread with the rest of the colony.
Bro, which animal does that?
That was cool to watch. Anyways, it's getting late, so I think I'm gonna go and
Welcome, Xavier. We're watching ants.
put this bucket on top of the ants so it's dark for them.
They
I'm gonna go to
sting.
sleep and hopefully...
It's like a bee. Do you know? A wasp and an ant look alike. A wasp and an ant actually look alike. Look, this looks like an ant, right? But it's a wasp. It's crazy.
When I wake up, there's gonna be tons more tunnels. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you guys in the morning.
And over those next 10 hours,
Oh, that was good timing, Xavier. Don't be
the ants
timing.
made their tunnels so much larger and more intricate than before. And on the back, they even had tunnels all the way down at the
Huh?
bottom, with ants actively walking
How
about
did
the
they do
whole
that?
system.
Anyway,
Guys,
ants,
how did
it's
they do
8
that?
a.m. and that means it's time. As you can see, the alarm's going off. It's time for challenge number 3. Let's get these ants trained even more.
For this training, I have to pick up one unlucky ant and transport him to the ant lion pit. If you don't know what an ant lion is, well, this is it. It's just a tiny little bug that has actually evolved over millions of years to be an expert at
Whoa! He's gonna torture him! He's gonna torture him! Yo, what's good, ISO? How are you doing?
taking down ants. Basically, when you go and put them on the floor, they start to dig themselves under the ground, and then they just go around digging. And I have 9 more of these guys, which I spread across the whole tank.
Is this okay for PETA? Is this okay for PETA, guys? Some bugs kill ants. But do you see how?
As you can see,
He does like Hulk smash. He's like a... Bro! That is different!
they all dig around, making these little lines in the ground. But after waiting a few hours, you can see that each of the ant lions have
Just
actually
bite!
dug out their
It's
own
enough,
little pits
right?
in the ground. And when an ant walks into the bottom of them, they're basically cooked.
All right, ant, I'm gonna put you right at the start. And at the end, I'm gonna put some breadcrumbs so you can bring back to the colony if you survive this.
And without further ado,
Oh, come on, man! That's torture! That's torture!
I let
They take them in the sand and it's... Oh my god, bro.
The ant loose. Let's see if he can get the bread
Yo,
to feed the
rest in
colony.
peace,
Immediately, he
ants.
started to explore around the sand area. He had no idea that he was constantly walking near these pits of death. And eventually, he took a wrong step and stumbled inside of one. These pits are specifically designed to make the ants trip into them, but the ant lion at the bottom must have been sleeping or something, because nothing happened and the ant was just able to walk out. But if you look closely, this caused the ant lion to wake up. He was now active and armed, with his mandibles now throwing up sand in case the ant walked in again. And over the next few minutes, the ant did just that. He kept walking inside of the pit, but the ant lion just could never quite snap on the ant at the right time.
Yo, he
well,
got
that was
mugged.
until this. You see, this
He
is
got
paused
mugged.
footage, but basically if we unpause it, you can see exactly what happens when an ant lion gets a hold of the ants. The ant lion started to bring the ant underground, and within a few seconds, it was like there was never anything even here. I thought it was over, and you could tell by the sand moving that the ant was getting pulled.
Ant lion low elo. For real. Bro. Come on, man. But he still got him.
Further and further underground. But all of a sudden, I saw this. A little bit of the ant's head had poked out of the ground. He somehow was fighting back and must have been using its stinger to try and escape. I immediately rushed back and recorded with my other camera, and what I saw was so weird. The ant had
What was
somehow
it, T?
made it out from under the sand, but it wasn't trying to escape. In fact, it was using its front legs to try and dig back under the ground.
Wait, but why? Bro, there's bread on the surface.
Bro, what the heck? Why is this ant digging like a dog? He's literally using his front legs to dig in the sand where he almost just got killed. Bro, this guy's crazy. Nah, bro, if you want to be eaten by an ant lion that bad, I will gladly put you right there. Have fun, buddy.
And right after putting him in this pit, this ant lion also woke up and eventually snapped at the ants. And it
come
once
on,
again
man.
started to pull him underground. But miraculously, this ant was able to fight back once again and somehow broke free, immediately ran out of...
Yo, this ant is like a superhero. Yo, see you later, Yassine. This ant is like a superhero. It's like you watch a movie and the guy gets almost shot. He gets almost shot and he escapes right on the end. Putting him in is insane indeed. I do agree. Putting him in is insane. Watch entertaining stuff. I'm a kid, I don't have the patience to watch this.
the hole and straight over
Just
to
wait.
the breadcrumbs to
Just
claim his
wait.
prize. Nah, this ant tricked me to have me move him closer to the bread, and now he somehow won the challenge.
Nah, bro, there is something up with these ants. I'm being dead serious. How on earth did he escape the antlion pit over here?
But this
how
guy
on
is a
earth did he escape
beast.
this one and then no to go to the bread? And now
This
it's
guy
trying
is
to
a
bring bread
beast.
back to the colony. Bro, well played. You survived.
I'll bring you and all
Max,
the
we
bread
can't speak
back
English
to the
anymore. It
colony.
doesn't say English.
So
and
I
we're
brought it
like,
all over
what?
to the nest, and the entire colony was clearly super excited because they all swarmed the bread as
What do you mean? It says English. What do you mean?
started taking little pieces of it underground. Anyways, I went and waited a few hours and came back to find the nest even bigger
Bro,
once
this
again.
ant
The
is
ants
W
still are
ISO.
not done with their training sessions, and next
This
up,
ant
we
is
gotta see if they
W.
can survive some Venus flytraps for some food. So I immediately picked up some of the workers to bring them to the flytrap minefield, completely decked out with tons of Venus flytrap plants.
For the food on this obstacle, we got a gorilla. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Huh?
what's
Is this
packaged in
weed?
this. Basically, what it is just a bunch of.
Oh, it's not weed. Yo, I swear, this is what they put weed in. How are you doing, T?
oats, and I'm just gonna feed these to the ants. Let's put them inside.
You see, each Venus flytrap has these tiny little trigger hairs inside of them, and when something touches them, it causes them to close. And if I carefully put the oats in between
Bro,
the
come
hairs
on,
without
man.
hitting any of them, I can basically just put the food in here, which will make the ants have to carry them out. But it was actually pretty hard to get the oats perfectly inside, so I ended up just spreading the oats everywhere around the tank.
All right, let's see how the ants do in here. I have a feeling they're not gonna do too well, but yeah, we'll see.
Immediately, the ants had started to swarm out the tube that I put them in, and they were probably really confused of why they were all just transported away from their nest. And for a little while, they kind of just walked around, investigating their new environment. That was until a couple minutes later, where this
But why do they... If they move from sand to dirt, aren't they confused? Aren't they like thinking, well, this is new surface? Do they build a new house?
first ant walked up to a Venus flytrap plant. He probably had no idea that these plants were basically alive and wanted to eat him whole. Thankfully though, this guy was able to walk out of the plants without triggering any of the traps. However, a few minutes later, this ant walked up to another one of the plants, and well, this time all I'll say is he wasn't as lucky. Surprisingly, he wasn't super attracted to the oats, but it did seem like he may have been attracted to the traps themselves. You see, Venus flytraps create a very thin layer of nectar around the lip of the jaws to lure insects in. And eventually, this ant ended up, well, walking into one, hitting a trigger hair, and just like that, he was now stuck inside of the jaws. As you can see, the ant was just walking around inside trying to escape, and he had no idea what to do. Too bad for this guy. This trap is going to release a type of acid over the next few days to basically just turn him into some nutrients to make the plant.
Yo, but honestly, a meat-eating plant is so crazy concept.
Even stronger.
Bro, can they dissolve humans? Can they dissolve humans as well? Like the really big ones? In the dinosaur age, everything was bigger, right? So they had this, but like 20 times bigger? Would a human be able to be eaten?
Now, interestingly enough, pretty much all the ants I put inside were staying away from the traps and were all grouped up around this corner. In fact, they were actually starting the process of digging some more tunnels. Now, these ants still think they're in the nest. They're just trying to dig. Well, I mean, I guess it's pretty smart if you're not getting eaten by the traps. Because over the next 20 minutes, only one single ant came across another Venus
They would be able to be doing right. They would be, right?
flytrap. This guy, let's call him Larry. Now, Larry is a daredevil because he was walking all over the jaws of all of these plants, absolutely risking it for the biscuit. But
Bro, Larry is a beast. And the last guy that was with the lion ants, ant lion, bro, these guys are a different elo.
eventually, Larry's luck
guys
ran
are
out because of this
different
happened. The jaw had closed on him, leaving half of his body stuck out of it. But this
Oh, come on, man, Larry. Okay, I think he escapes. I think he escapes.
was actually pretty good for Larry, because it means he had a chance to escape. Using all of his strength, which albeit is not very much, he tried pushing himself out of the jaws. But the trap is designed to just get tighter and tighter as time goes on, meaning this ant was doomed. Well, not actually, because I kind of felt bad for Larry, so I cheated nature and used my tweezers to open the trap.
Yes,
Larry
I
out
knew
and brought him
it!
back to the rest of the colony. Anyways, that training actually
Larry!
went really well. Every single ant survived except one.
Larry the skeleton from Clash Royale?
So I brought them all back to the nest and gave the whole colony a bunch of these little gorilla oats to show my support. As you can
Bro, he must be like God. If you have ants and you give them food, do they be like that you are the God? I swear they do rituals for you. They do rituals for you, right?
see, it didn't take long for some of the ants to start moving the oats down to their intricate tunnel systems. And speaking of these tunnel systems, the last training session I'm putting these ants
I
through
need to get ants.
before the Black Widow is a flood simulation. Yeah, I'm flooding this ant nest.
Well, kinda, because
Hey!
it would kill every single ant. So instead, I've got this thing called the little dripper, which as you can see, drips some water droplets very slowly.
Yeah, it might seem kind of lame, but this little bit of water should be enough to eventually collapse part of the ant's tunnel system. And if it does collapse, if they can fix it quickly, it means they would have passed all my training missions, and that means they're ready for the Black Widow. So I immediately started to drop the little droplets of water. And initially, the ants were very confused. Some of the droplets were hitting the ants and making them get completely drenched in water. But to my surprise, it almost seemed like the ants wanted to get wet, because more and more of the ants started to gather around where the water was dropping, and eventually a whole pile of ants was getting completely soaked by it. You see, ants are amazing in their ability to work as a team, and in the wild, if a real flood occurred, a massive ant colony would literally join together to make a raft out of their bodies. And that way, the important stuff like the queen and eggs could stay on the top and stay dry to ensure the future of the colony.
Yo,
and on a mini
that is
scale, this is
sick.
sort of what the ants are doing here. They're joining together to make a shield out of their bodies that will prevent the water from getting into their tunnels where all the eggs are stored.
Wow, ants are actually amazing. I was totally expecting these tunnels to just collapse from the water, but it seems like ants have literally evolved to do pretty much anything. I'll remove
Dude,
this
that
water.
is
I don't want to do any
sick.
more harm. You guys prove to me you're very capable.
They instantly took down the
Yeah, thank you for following me, Hayden.
cricket,
I hate school, yo. Everyone has to go back to school tomorrow, guys. Enjoy.
somehow escaped ant lions, survived the Venus flytraps, and even survived a flood. And throughout that process, they managed to build an awesome nest with a thriving colony.
It is safe to say these ants are ready for my Black Widow. Now this is
Bro,
actually
final
my
boss
last
battle.
Black Widow because all the other
It's
ones
the
from
final
videos
boss
have-
battle now.
Yeah.
It's the final boss battle.
But anyways, I went and put the Black Widow in a
I think, look, there's a lot of ants going to die, but in the end, the ants win. It is volume against power, right? If you have 10,000 humans fighting a dinosaur, the dinosaur loses, right? The dinosaur loses. Or if you put 10,000 people against a gorilla, gorilla loses.
container so you guys could get a good look at it. And as you can tell, it has that insane, iconic red hourglass abdomen. Wait, sorry, this is my pet robot Black Widow. This is not the real one. Here is the real Black Widow.
Oh,
As you
this
can tell, it's extremely creepy, and under its glossy black abdomen is where the red
Ants win.
hourglass is located.
Ants
These guys have an insane amount of venom, so if it
Oh
even bites
God,
a
the
single
ants
ant,
win.
it's safe to say it's gonna be a goner. Anyways, here is the tank where the final battle will take place. I went and put a few sticks from my backyard, then I put in the Black Widow. Immediately, she started climbing all over the sticks, and I went and waited a little while she sort of settled in and found a nice spot to rest. Once she did, I went to the ant nest, scooped a good amount of the workers into a tube so we could get this battle started.
Let's get these ants in here. Let the games begin!
Immediately, the ants started to run out
Oh, but that's not enough. That's not enough, right?
the tube and down onto the sand. When pretty much all of the ants had made it down to the sand, some started to make their way over
They need more. They need like, bro, they need like 200.
to the Black Widow, which was just perched right above them on the sticks. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a pretty impatient guy, and I couldn't bear to wait for the battle to
Yeah,
start.
there
So
will
I
be
literally
more
picked up
war
the
in
stick
the
myself
future,
to bring the
exactly.
spider down to the ants. Immediately, the spider started to run around. None of the ants really noticed besides this guy. That kind of built the spider's leg or something and scared it away. The spider tried to escape as fast as it could by climbing the glass, but it was too slick. Once a few other of the ants had
Oh, it's scared of the ants?
noticed the Black Widow was on the ground, they started to jump it. And it was actually pretty funny to watch, because as you can see,
scared of
there's
the
barely
ants.
any ants, and the spider was so scared, trying to run away at full speed. Bro, you're like the most venomous spider in the world. Why are you not just fighting back? And yeah, a couple of the ants just kind of continued to terrorize the Black Widow. The thing is, all of the rest of the ants were kind of just doing their own thing at the other side of the enclosure. I had to make this more interesting, so I had a better plan. I went and picked up all of the ants to bring them back to the nest.
All right, well, I got the Black Widow from the tank, and hey, the title did say 1,000 ants versus Black Widow. Let's actually put this to the test against 1,000 ants.
And well, I dropped the spider inside, and
Yo! Yo, he's getting jumped!
it immediately started going crazy, running everywhere. And obviously, the ants did not act kindly. Every single worker went on
Yo!
yellow alert mode and jumped onto the spider, grabbing her with their mandibles and repeatedly stinging it over and over. As you saw with the cricket, ants do not mess around with stuff in their nest. And to my surprise, the Black Widow did not even get a chance to fight back. It's actually pretty crazy how quickly the ants had pinned it down and started to devour it. And yeah, well, that's literally
Oh, it's like 1 radiant against 10,000 bronzes! Oh my god!
all that happened, and that should answer your question of who wins in a fight. 1,000 ants definitely wins, and they basically beat
You're
everything.
right,
There's a
T.
reason
He
why
died
ants are the secret king of the animal
instantly.
kingdom, because there's quadrillions of ants around the world.
But one final thing, I have an important message to all the kids and families and parents watching out there. Because the new Terra Green Activity book was just released. Now seriously, we just released this book that we put so much time into to
Dude, he got destroyed. He got destroyed. Why are we watching this? I'm trying new stuff out, T. I'm trying new stuff out. Facebook comment. Okay, dude. Now I'm trying new stuff out, bro. I want to do more reaction content. Because gaming, who wants to watch me game and be bad at gaming? Be for real. Who? And this will go on YouTube. I will upload this for YouTube as well. Me responding to it. I will save this for YouTube as well. You're right? Exactly.